Abusanfo ya chiamo ene Friday enumere na obi yi so na yewe yebedi nkomo kakra ene enumere na yen topic no ye video bi a ebesan ati ede aka ho yen topic no ye say when should we choose to be silent, and when should we choose silence, and when should we choose silence? Abrabɔ mu sɛ awareɛ mu enamfosɛm mu abusua mu mmerɛ bɛn na ɛwɔ sɛ wo choose silence mmerɛ bɛn na wo mpo koraa no kwan bɛn na afa so wo choose silence deɛ na bɛba a ɛbɛma wayɛ silence deɛ na bɛba a break with silence deɛ bɛn na ɛbɛ push you ama break with silence ɛna deɛ bɛn so na ɛbɛ push you ama keep silent ɛwɔ relationship mu deɛ bɛn na ɛbɛ push you ama keep silent ɛwɔ adamfofa mu ɛde bɛ na be push ama keep silent ɛwɔ adwuma mu ɛno ho asɛm ɛna ɛba bɛka ne anwumre oba so ana wahyɛ ɛde ama yɛsan sɛ ɛnama bebree esi ɛwɔ ɛwareɛ mu namfosɛm mu abusua mu ɛnama bebree esisi silence koraa no ebinim say silence ɛyɛ golden wɔ hɔ na better say obe keep silent. Na do you trust say yes nipa wo ha we 100% silent and na say there be nti wo mreben na ebema wo choose silence mreben na ebema wo choose silence na mreben ebema wo break you with silence wo relationship mu de ba de and bra make us say na o boyfriend bi tete wo girlfriend bi tete wo maame bi wo nua bi wadamfo bi wadwuma mu wo boss bi more treaty with nema bi a ebekọ so ye nim say adwuma mu especially say ye Ghana nema bebre ti ma ye keep silence we nema bebre ho a ye man pa bebre kwan so mo nkasa enkabon so be voice out a lot of things, but once na nipa bi no aka atom so ka wanu tum for wani hwe men kasa ye din we ye din a actually no nkuninde be film aba enti wa be breaki ama ye hu say silence no kra no so bi atwusu silence ya advantage ben ene film ba disadvantage ben so ene wo so because minimum bi an silence ya wa ye na ama na ayare by force enti no silence kra no eye ana enye enti be hwe ne both side and the both negative side and negative and positive side in yan abehwanya ka once e be na wo experience e bi ato that same be ato them why silent for so many years, and you don't want to talk, you don't want to explain yourself, and into dear bay and I'm ben was so choose silence no hasem e na be ka anwumre obigye sunye be pa cho oba so a share my na yenim komo abrabo mu nkomo ehia yie pa ebia na eba be kasa na abie wasem bi so na abode wukuro bi na opese wo share wo idea wo share wo experience ebia na abode nua bi kuro bi ama wakaye nsem bi ebi mpokra na silence bi kwa na wa keep no enka ubie so anka yen so unim how to go with it no there at the end of the program no ebeboa ama solutions to your situation. I be na won so kwa no comment ade na so idea wo de ba no ebebo ma yen so be silence be keep within us no ebebo ma ya voice no out and I keep on your silence no enti anwumre ye e ba be kasa fa ho oba so a share my unsubscribe to OBJ channel no so me share ko YouTube na subscribe my na your Facebook subscribe my na share ma dio onya bi NTN so no so emedwa ni OBJ abusuaku no akọ radio so ye ne omo nyina edwumade fefefe me de na afia hene obi so ba be ka yensa na ya start dwumade na emre ni nti obi ba be ka ye hu na mi hwe obi bia baba oba na program no ani je ho a me hwe na wama yen stars de a support yen dwumadi no obi aye ready a me invite na wa be ka ye ho na de dwumadi no a hyehyɛ so obi
yeah
obi what am I kan
kapa
so ho ye de
ya now so
na mi adome so ho ye pa Maminja mawena owonchia edema obia owo mkaebo bisusu a.
Fear at this moment there, I mean, share them who so be a basso, but and yet the uncle for Becan Lieutenant Chia, or more tie any diguma. Or your platform is so your program is so much will be Miss Resse. Yana mabo modern na ma share at their mind share no a hunya a sunset and on some tembiano encourage yen ema ye to me a coso na afe ye to me a day program no eba tembia enti me pa cho se wo baso a na wa share dana na metie obi ipa kras ma o kan se ase before ade na wo ya na efa omo ho no normally be yanka ebe boa but so obe share to ni page pa no de normally ni ya no mo mpese o mo be share na ya na o se onte ase na meka se eye nipa su untimi enchichiri nipa se chinchina ya na on share adwumadie emfama o sometimes obi o ha ya wo kan enye naniji na se enye but ya na mesere se mo amanya kwan anase moye mo adwen se mo wo so aya na mutie no sebi ye mo na ya na ye kasa mo nhye in the sense se o spend the time se utie dia anka me ya se utimi esese utimi a share to page because the ye kan no sebi ebia na ne wa asem bi ekọ ebia na boa wo kwan bi so nti se e ba se wan share amayan na ase de udi ye ho fe obi se kakra na ase bibia sa nti no momomod na ya na mobaswa na ma share de amayan etimi ema encouragement ba etimi encourage yen se o ye program no na se unhu se enipa bebre wo so na omo share it actually ema wani gise o kasa na ye hwew na obi share nti kakra meka kire onkofo a ne se ofia omo share ye program no emfama yen enko different platforms so na ye program nti me nko nani kakra meka no
Obi,
ofia
yes, when should we choose silence? Komi anase o preserve wo ho no. Time ben and was say we yes silent. Na well nimsa ba bom nsem de na ma bebre timi koso. And emo bit me kasa men kasa obebo na abona so on kasa. Asem betimi asi mbehia wa himfie ana mbehia wo court ana mbehia wo baabi bebo na abona on kasa opeso oti na numu asem na hu kwan fa sa obeka asem to ka obebo na o so on kasa awarefo mu esi enamfofo mu o se o enamfo menu akon bebo mo abo bia ye silent obia so on kana ne yonko aye no obeko na there is a reason behind it adwuma mu nso so ne pa bebre ne makoso ema yen silence na eye adwuma nti no ye ba be kasa afa ho na time was it me break in silence na ne health part no psychologically no boa eboa na say boa negative and positive side ne nyina no e pese ye kasa afa ho anwumre na eboa ye nyina.
okay if you have say you be can in life the real life now life are you woman no da ben and as a time ben any mre ben na e wo se asem si umia wano wo ho anase oka e ho asem ti ye can life ye limit ye ho in only a be our bekase be our remu or whatever it is but ye can't ye kati across what must say ye can in the whole situation you know if I be no a be a betimi abo a whole bebre when it comes to our rear emua ye betimi ato ye bo ase abo e ho no eye because anything in a life situation you know there are certain things that ehun hia e bi wo ho nso a ehun hia if ya naturally no ebi mu wo ho a or they don't omum pekasa what you say naturally no enipa num bi wo ho a wo ye ne den kra sometimes ne ya na bi o feel shy so be kasa unti na no ne kasa ye wo sa nipa fo ni bi wo ho so what you say omo no wo be ka wasem se den kra na se woni ni be di nkomo kra mpo na they only nod to you or no more show him. So when is such a person in Shiana Eden says sometimes you'll be only patrono Eden. I don't let alone say what could share that person no worry more. Okay. If there are situations to be brave or no more, it demands say what can one to when something happens. You see, your situation be when it goes to your personal life or family, wa worry mu, usuku komu, wa juma mu, everywhere. There are situations to be or no more. A better so be kan wano atum na watena obaby rather than so obekasa. If you say okwasia, say okasia, asemba na wakana no tum na otewa. Unyansani bu kwasia na so oyepani because one thing na no ne kasa. Sometimes one ko kasa na no probably no apa. Who say asem ya akwa yi kan yem kwasia asem. So what you say? Enunti no, let's try to find out is a mreben na esese me kasa. Mreben na ehun behia say o say me kama no tum na mete wo. First of all, yenhwe yan kasa ya brabo. Afia yenhwe time a time a wo obuafu ye de baba be wura baabi ba yenhwe time a obuafu. Afia say obufu pia wan hwe ya nsem a ba firi wano aba ne say wo ka ebetumi ama enipa bi ewura ho anase ebetumi ama nipa bi nsem a obeka bebre no anase de wo beka no ebetumi ama wanhwe ye bedi nipa no etirimu dam the lifetime nyina wone ukunu anase wo yere wa aware mu na bibiasi na obuafu nsem a obetumi aka kire ukunu na wo yere no wanhwe ya nipa kro ni gina ho obebusa na ho se enti nipa me ware no oni ana nipa etisika ko ware no anaso opene ma me ware no oni ana all because say o ka ensam a o partner no ama ne wure aho anase ehye na koma enti sa wo bufu a afia you don't have to talk. And what's a woman one na wotena wo ba bi di kopem se wabufuo no probably no ebekwa akoto enunti no da bia ya na meka se wo bufu bebre a afia men take decisions ebetimi an impact your life. You just have to stay silent. So wo bufu na se ye busa o question a bomodna se wo be mia wano na wato was because so before sometimes words I you choose no harsh. If you are share Facebook so say I own say who say enkrofo ne enkrofo ekun o Facebook so da obi wo ho a na obi akoka asem na asem na hye ne boa ma obetena Facebook so a ensem a obeka no afia wo hwa na wabusa ho say nipa ipa de sanka nanka mebu ni pa o ba hwensem a wo ka eye abufo na ahye ne so na ontumi control ne ho no na ma back somehow no go stay silence and kawan kasa and ka hunu the way a nipa ne personality tie o person hu obi pa say na nipa ne tie a two things either say nipa na ninje anama ne bufu ne hu say the nipa ne true characters tie obi wo ho a ne bufu o ntimi control ne eno no ye one a meka e wo ho no mo e na afia when we thinking level no aye clouded bisi basa emunye clear ma wa afia better so be stay ube kan wan watu afia ma menya example wa ha wo kwa aware wadwene ya wontanta wa nipa na wo kwa akọware ne ho thinking level ni nye truly straight na sinchina wo do ho akọwura aware ni at that time no you are not processing things. Aware de make say be take is longer kakra but ebi mu wo ho a because of excitement na ewomu na oni sa me be ware ni ntino obo nse ne thinking no ontimi think straight until so be kwa ko wura mahu se aware ne nye ansa na n'ani aba ne ho so what you say enu nti no let's try as much as possible say hi mo o judgment in your papa no don't talk stay silent kan wanu tum na tena ho di onda so kakra dwene ho kakra na hu se ade we ya me ba be ye no the solution a hu hia na be bre me ana other than that no worse no mene fagu yam mene o pride no so mene o worse e de gu yam a bia nte wano ne kasa no hu se either say you are making a poor decision or and somehow wo kan ye nkwase ase geja afia ma men entwen kakra na wo so to aso ye
Obi before say ye beto aso no am say o video how we say ye bo na eyi nema film
audio rather
okay
nti okay minim so be explain what this audio is and as me mo no raw
friends Jean Camel on say within the previous years no na warrior sensem abetototo ma onu ne kuna wari gya ye ho sensem no ya ye nimra warrior ye nema ye call so e ka silence ya ho sensem ya bi e behwe say before so be warrior no ye behwe say oye silent o warrior ye nso sensem be because onu ne ko mo ye silent and aso ma silent our no go and so no what went on and what went wrong omo keep silent e wo ho anaso man keep silent e wo nema binum na was nko omo keep until recently no wa akọji grant interview was be explain ne ho biem wa ka nema binum mu what happened during her marriage no interpret ye bo audio na ye tie nsem binum na ye hua nema edi film abasa silence where ye ka ho asem to see.
All right.
I was never, in fact, till now, I am not even desperate.
No, now. You were desperate to marry at that time.
Say, baby, man, I father me say I cannot send you. But baby, yes, but baby, man will be a kind of prayer when you mean what you say. And you know, a persuading me crown can crown already. My is the entrance. I work on my way, I share, but we move. But the way I buy and I really want to get married. I would like, so I was like, okay, then maybe my dream would fear he's okay, or say okay family. And the same so maybe a opinion or about so better maybe a wife. So I was like, okay, then let me try our career and see. It's a trauma quick.
But Zandi, check no cranium the cranium. Problem started with the fact that you made the man feel like you were a cash cow.
Yes.
So what you cash cow?
Yes.
She said,
he could milk me.
And you showed signs of Uber like.
I didn't show sign. I was being a supportive partner. I didn't show a sign. I was doing it. Then sign. Sign. They say, I was being a supportive partner, which I don't see anything wrong with it. Honestly.
Exactly. But
even till now, oh yes.
Oh
yes. It got to a point. He told me point blank. When you clone,
exactly.
But it was like they say. Well, it happens, but I keep saying, such things happens for us to grow in life. And see, makum. And no, we can't. Our rest of my Miss me can be kakra. What I say.
But and yet can be no. But okay, with such a bad experience, it makes it difficult to talk about it. For example, Bema as your interest, Romo. You didn't take time to get to know him better.
Yeah.
You didn't take time to investigate to know. Say, a branch here also open me. I can probably know it more on the pen. But because of your bar, you were lonely. You needed a companion. And now you jump into it. Oh, young worry. Who they will see cancer in your crowd? May you be here saying, Nazan did it back. Oh, Madame, will you be back? Oh, wait. It's at the end of the day, he realized that one hour worrying and you're not worrying.
Well, 30% you have a point.
No, I have investigated so much. So it's not 30%. The guy said, I'm not holding anything.
like you said, relationship in sometimes I've even
You've not told me anything.
No, but
you don't even tell me. The only thing I do is encourage you that everything will be okay.
Yes, only.
But me that I'm just no.
Only
I wasn't me investigating. Me confront you.
Some of the things, honestly, if I'm being truthful, I saw the red flags. We can say a week to my worry. To our
which was getting later.
Yes, which in one way that I could have at least withdrawn. Send the emails to me, I could tell money be. So come any problem. It's me at home crying and back. But say your parents so what I can be and yes our Arabia will come as like Sadia and then few friends around me at that time so when you're sure son. And on Waka sounds so when I started pointing the red flags out, and how my jai, my sister and all that. So I was okay. And see from the cash cow points now it was after our real on one criminal bar. Unconsciously he goes like, and then because she away was so do papa or say I'm you worry with them. Can be our papa say mommy.
Yeah.
So that was where I started to go like okay. Relax. Do this. Yes. Do that. It got to a point I wanted to back out. But honestly, this guy went he went down on his knees to
No. That was
no, let me show.
Who's what people are going to say?
No. I wouldn't say for there was no day my dream was say me jai our rear. If I bet to wabble but the point was how would my mother feel?
So now would you more than what people
because
say?
I said Onokra were saying me. My worry and my mother became my friend at once. My kati and now funny bibia out of my way. It's bibia ni amisubu so. Me can was saying she so I told her say, "When papa to me who be o." But one from say, "Who from say I can say ka die." And na me there or say obi ani there and the guy too was feeling at that time say enya hwe bia wabeye star kese asem me and e bia kakra wo nsem ni ntino ti na wo pese we say so I go like enya hwe de na me tina ho. He feels e bia because it's me pie obi ti be nation Zandi am your fan or say say nya TV so na Zandi kwa na wo ho. So me nyina Emma minya
but when you didn't see them before you married.
No.
And I now turning in Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy. What him say? For I think me transfer for about a month or two before I go know. If you feel what's not in chain. Just to know.
Were you going out together?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
The say he's not the outing type. Obi cry be a meeting be na once in a while. And that was it. And see my own channel who this is my meetings. Yes.
Okay. So
with all these things, honestly, it started coming the very 14th May. I'm a warrior. Michelle wedding gown. I'm just saying all this. Baby best friend, maybe one was sending the back picture. Me knew Bema now, me didn't bread or go so me didn't say. And see, I didn't want to talk to him. So I spoke to his kid brother first. And I never told me about say, and I'm so no problem. Even though when I was in the wedding gown, I mean you go on into war. And I no go home, chance no buy no. I'm going so no, I'm okay. No, so I'm not worried. He's in charge, and I have to come down and be submissive to the man, no matter what.
Oh, Zandi, yes, submissive.
No matter what.
Did you even have that in you?
No matter what. Yeah. No matter how high my horse is, definitely once I am married, I need to break the legs of that horse.
Yeah.
Semina, me feel cry. So this I need to edema man. So since he said, and I showed them mama, and I was like, okay, let me give him that opportunity to rule. But then I'm
considered. But I'm more.
Obi.
Yeah.
Utie Zandi nkomo na say abo badama bebre so ewo so na ye ka silence ho asem na yaye him say in the beginning of the divorce be man be nema bebre a e betima ka say ba out be nema bebre social media so a na ye blame be man say as be man dey say nema bu an kwa ye silent ho nye bibia na babon ta say wo ya childish bi never can't be when some those days na lady didn't say that Emma out and make be a later and I want to be about in short, we have money short. Na ekoko die so I don't know what happened. E bia na person odi tufo ba e bi so na nipa na presenter na oyeye no o man interview no e na e bi o pese ohun a case na adwo awie no pese ohun ibi efim hawa e fa so na mani siye now o say baby bo kan na ye na em say ho ni ma bianko wi bi ko mi sentie first one mi kan tie no ano kan bi se edu ba bi a okipu niema na guy no bisan bibi wo ho sa na mantie oni ye mi we fi okakra obi now yehwe say zandi na ware control we say no privacy ebam because you ka privacy a ena ma silence ni bon wona ma binum ho
I believe it's from the way I will see Kasa idea. That means it's there are a lot of Nyoma one camp masem Okipu here. So what you say? Because on say all Kasa CCA or say sometimes in Krabi or Honomoa or time I know was wedding gown or crampono. Unya a lot of calls ni messages say guy no war and ma war baby or CCC, but ni na no Okipu silence for home. So what you say? Oh, so Okipui because of all say a new warrior. I mean, what's your wedding gown or worry? That you can see. If you what else can you do? Uncle Body Dana at that moment now or your wedding. I really don't think it's your friend is saying who be here so Koboko about Kobodi. And number 2, Crampon was even Uti Quachia, Uti and was say a due time bino within a week before marriage in a cranop or back out. Because it's all things, but of fun say mani keep silence. It's all in the faith that we what you say. Me to me, at that time, the silence now Okipu was good. So what you say because and your ma akakuduna or babewa and na she was only hoping say and your ma better out to be on a good side whereby and compete me work things out. So what you say. It's rather unfortunate to say when Nyanto was here who guy no ye no ordinity ekuku rem. When that happens, and you may be CBN you just have to keep silence. Ewo ho na odi wani hwe. Nye bibia na betimi dia ba beto adwa. Because say divorce ma I really don't think say anke ebe hunu all these things no ewo Zandi Camel a marriage ni mu. If you are more worried and things were moving on well. Omo call photo shoot waha omo yes. There was a problem. I know I keep it silent or because the send up our no surviving. What I say? It's always when say our no query and I say cheating near dear bear muna I decided say dissolving. And then probably she started talking. At that moment, no silence not well keep silence no for a longer time. But who's a baby I do know. I don't have to keep silence no more. I have to voice it out. So what you say? And until at that time on me metenasi, time I would decide this all kasan metenasi. Even though it was a childish, but people were eager to know the side of the story. Is the problem coming from one? And that's a problem that was coming from the husband, no, the ex-husband, no. Nobody knew. Sometimes it demands to say you have to explain yourself. Why explain yourself? Your funny say, asem na ade na ekoso no. Enye eyampa. Because people didn't know the guy no much. Oti ase. Eyo no Zandi Camel no na nkrofo ni mu no. And besides no, obetena radio so a couple of times. Sheila Amajo yechiao. Obetena radio so couple of times. E kan someone else so kan. So on the own worry, unya a ye dienas or ukunuba newa. All these things were Becky kind. So people tag Zandi Camel say on yet. People tag Zandi Camel say on yet the married type. And lo and behold, God yamfani say nyankopon e boa ye ma ebia wonya be ma we. So what you say? Enti Now also approve the chunk of force say yes for the marriage type. It whereby things started turning out to say yes sana be manete no. Ontimi fiti preko penka say okipu ni silence. Or ba aba beka. So what you say? Obe start say obe kasa ebeye bibi o wa via say the wo akwa wura ware mu. Na immediately na ware ni nkoye. Then you started talking. Ebe hu say wonya matured enough. But ube keep nyoma be for yourself wishing say things will be the way so say you be kasa akire be ma no. Nyoma be to na kwan so at a certain point in time no. Okaka kire o maame ka say yenhwe enye better sa yento ye boas ne yenwe. So all these things somehow no me listen to no me hu say fa ba bi no yade because no call person marriage ni gina. Guy ni kasa, so I will guy no still keeping silence on granting interview. So for now, no, you may matter from no. I will judge guy no. And from the way a guy na be acting previously, I don't know you be a program where me catch us say I see the guy so on matured enough because as a bana se wa be gina TV show now we ye say bonyom that tells me so on matured enough. So from the way I be narrating na yi e we ni so ama me match no. I will tend to blame the guy. Say all what was going on was coming from the guy. It is the guy no who say Zandi Kamel mamen kona min kobobi. Mamen kona min konkohe. Say yes wo ne papa ne mami wuska. Te bia no manya bi. Probably no kwaya wa nya ne saa no. Then the guy decided to say oh sad de ne say na tio. The guy is a nice guy. Ba wo hwe na obey a player. So what you say? If I were the young girls now, and susu be or na, and this very guy and how about my life, man, I'll be really, really careful. As I cried, the cry, because we cannot be play until say or no so the side of the story about the cancer. No, ebia Zandi come blame me mododo. This and that. No, so yeah. For now, no. Oh, chidemu say as a guy no cry jealous of her because what claim say. Ye nyina ye TV so adenti na nko ana da bia nipa nimu so efa ba bi nka jealous ya ba mu kakra se be yire no na so ye famous why would I have to be jealous after all famous na ba se ka bi coming na mama ground ti we ya o ye famous and ni kunu ye ni obi abehu ni kunu na na mama ground so what you say so why do I have to be jealous of my wife and answer me kunu enti no se says was so kasa I will support Zandi Kamel to explain his side of the story, no, for people to understand what was going on. Yeah.
Obi, yeah, silence as someone no say edu ba bia keeping silent, show maturity. Well, yeah, but when keeping silent too much, and so sometimes who nipa na keep silent on certain things, you will never go a very, very a year. When you keep silent on this kind of things now, psychologically it affect you pa. It bit more lose your mind. Obi imagine say wakwa wawe mu na oyire etete wo ana ukunu etete wankasa pa odo fa yiya mu na wo ya hwe mana na ni nso one be ma no se bi onya responsible ya ka se responsible la on tena fie on pem ma hwe be ma san so ya abusive otenensa na no so eya na osanso yamma asem ka ho na all this type of way nyina Mexican wobi na owo sawa we mu na person show maturity until I was so keep silent over this kind of behavior. Now what maybe what now 1 year, 2 years, 3 years hoping say your husband is going to change. Then you want people silent too. You won't explain yourself to anybody. You have to pretend to the world to know say that you are going you are wearing air abonteno you pretend but inwardly you are dying slowly all in the name of say I want to keep silent. I want to show I was me matured. Or do you think say healthy without talking?
If you when we talk about marriage and keeping silent, to me, the only time that I think is at least my warrior check. Okay, I have an experience. Minimum for my warrior. We need be doing come up and tea. What I'm talking Jamaican, you know, I definitely know what I'm talking about. If you are in a marriage, I would say from when or any time, make us say oba and abema, you don't have to whereby physically you are being abused. They're both physically, the signs are there. Physically, and I say somehow I would say ABA. On a verbal part of it, and I say, be a sorry, I would do attempt and all that stuff on. And no, yeah, subjective kakra rather than say your objective because obi ohono mo on pese enipa be who say you could credit din attempt to bet me keep that and keep silence in it, whether we like it or not. But when say a brobe mu you keep silence in ye because maybe I was for it. If you were yabuama when you back quiet a quarter to one why you pussy was make keep silence. You busawa was a one cassa. So that means to say, open woo. So what you say? Other than that, you know, if you mean busa say, who are you going to talk to? Why now over cancel as why now cancel as I'm not here? Suppose in some over catch all my say, hey, me crew sorry or ya massamo, me crew sorry or yes you on your responsibility. Do you think it's all catch all my mamma, me catch or say sorry, better than chance for our Siana? All that the old mammy bit me a catch one. Tis Andy come out there and also catch all my men. Or my say, a be ye. You, or my say, a be ye. Was it good talk catch all my man? I really don't think it does matter. A wow, whatever you're going through. Now, going forward to tell a second party, a third party, no. A China so said that baby, who are you going to blame? Me. And I said, Nipa no the coin. And you nipa be answering you can ask them the children. In a relationship, no, if there is no physically, you abuse you. And that's all for say verbally, emotionally, no untumia. Now, person will come with some, then you got to prepare to say, oh, can was some no. We are prepared to say, obey our and now call baby. So, who decided to win our real no man? If I even don't trust as awful, or even a friend is saying, elder, and I don't trust all the catching.
Obi, me no, but to me, I think say to say you don't trust anybody. So what can I say? Physical abuse in Kwa, and they be serious. So you have to voice out, and also you don't have to keep silent here. Minjin to more baby. When it comes to keeping silent, like I say, be man telling Sabah so banting and Sabon Kwana. No, and I'm physically a show nintino, and only you, but emotional trauma, no, idea a kum silently, a really pass silent more than saying, me say, obi abusive verbally for so many years. If I say, obi o timono shen de biana so obo na we maso. Obi a o aso obo wontre de bia no hu ana ye maso. We yam show so na ka won say anxiety eba wona ma wonya nipa biem so hu nipa bi na so wo shuro na nya ne nsa no ko wate da bo na nipa obi a mo ko keke no essence ye de to abo enti no fanse wo no okunu tana na oyere tena atam de unexpectedly no okunu betima ka de ma na ye wo ya normal oyire betima ka de bo ansi bi ma na ye wo ya normal. But what I say verbally and kasa be man about verbally or abusive verbally each and every blessed day obi na and I'm so wint mean contribute a woman. That is where me person say the initial eba ho say keeping it silent within you now, not seeking for help. One pet, a friend says, one pet will be a professional, be at least if you see there, would make us any penny nine into need back pay beer. Won't me, and no fair for now, open our in a fair for say, won't mean this class I didn't find an open up. And now I ran upon a mojo, wouldn't you beer, or better than forward the new one, and crave met mattress and a crabby say beer. Minji akwankyerɛ wɔ no hɔ na how to resolve it. Instead of keep there 2 years, 3 years, now with him, now woo, next move for keeping silent for the whole of your life. Obi, me to me, psychologically it's not advisable.
There is a possibility, sir, Ubenya will be a catcher. But my question to you, ni say, and I said my question to anybody out here, ni say, are you prepared, sir? Nipa na catcher no the solution about the memo and answer the obekano. Are you prepared to go with it? What did you make your asses? So we are prepared
to advice in flow be a hoda.
Nenkasa. On say there are 2 things. Obi my advisor, you can choose to go with the advice or leave the advice. It doesn't matter say nipa no fair na fair no. Even so called professional person who crampona, the nipa no will try to say okay, for quine way so somehow no uhe quine now or say fast one now for say a quine way the sebi yam fan say a fear udo your friend is saying ukuno a fear tieni
Monsieur Pa
so ukuno Vamamen can say ye de a unato so your friends a link and ato so nti say o pese o join here me pa cho obetimi a copy now there to where you know join here udo ukunu no you don't, because if you are able to say ube endure nipa no abuse no de ukomu no for a year 2 3 meaning said there is something about uku ebia nipa na open pa, because one pena what a year pepe ube sorry hono wako baby, so I can't, no matter what I can't, I'm going. But if you are able to endure it more than a year, meaning say there's something about nipa na bia open. Yam fane sa.
Sometimes I near paintia, and there's something about it be you are staying.
Yeah, dear Nebema wa endure abuse relationship.
When you say abuse, sometimes threatening, ADHD, abuse will be or go to abuse beyond threats. What is another threat you come?
And you say, who jai me and make one.
A lot have been going through abuser, threats here. Threaten, no personally, psychologically, you threaten with mind. You threaten say, be a wokrano, Utmika say, be a same command, me fawa, and Kahine Bew Harrow. What is that? Abia say, sa kind of rest, no. Yet the dream you are being, and go low.
On say, if you are sometimes, no, Oma or Hoquine, Nipam, some Debiana make say. Oma ho kwan na nipa bi frot na so. That is how I see it in every situation bia. So oma ho kwan na oye obi a somehow no sometimes maybe a woni mo left from right and I say unye too sure about yourself. That bia na meka. Unye too sure about yourself. E nipa na detect ma o, nipa na do fa ayimo, but unim yourself. Na unim what you want. You will never sit down for somebody to abuse you psychologically. Adding. So what you say? Okay. Yam fan is a work professional neho. Wamao say no. A dear way I will come dear. I'm not going to tell you sit na home. You need to leave. And for some reason, to say the ABI will kind say usuru and all that stuff. In what way now bet me a course me jai masasa me ko. Also at that time, no, you na ya dema wono, amajo aba ma memfa ne nka ho wa hanomo. At that time, amajo ya ma akwa aba, e ma menyi sa yi we mfiri so nya sa ye hu nanim yi.
Hello.
Ma menyi we mfiri so nya sa ye hu anim, ya pese ye hu anim, amajo ya pese ye hu nti.
Oh, me be free ho.
Okay, nti mi sa mi dia yi ne to so meboa.
I ultimate to say that may ye free.
Okay, good. What I say? Enti to me, a good say a bia ube kasa, but as some American say, when you are what you decide is how actually will be, then you have to decide as to how are the nebeko either say wujai and answer we then you have to decide that too. Because say your more advice na say when there's no need for you to go and tell somebody else. So if you say abuse no want to me the abuse you know of say want to me free mu se nipa no a trusting no ka se free mu a want to me free mu. What is the point is also be to me akwache nipa no because ya abuse how enti na wo beka somehow no the better thing for you to do is say okay nipa no beka che na the way I will see can win some media me this a relationship we am fa won si baby so leave then you don't want to leave so what is the point is all kind okay the other person me catch there when say yeah e be ye koso ana whilst I mean definitely to me say asem na won me we be catch them no doesn't demand the same catch or say koso so what you say and into no me de kakra me no meka wo eno no there are situations bi wo ho a ukoka ye betimi ama ade bi a ebia wo betimi atwere ho eno kra no say if the situation is still going on it gets worse and worse and worse you keep your silence and either you leave. That is how I see it. Amaju akwaba
Us.
ama also ana if you akwa nem say o my oba
Silent nasa na ye kano. Sometimes na nye obi nko ahwa a ye kasa keeping silent and I say open your silence and I say bia we break silence and sometimes na nye say you are breaking the silence now okoka obi within the relationship no maybe you've endured certain things for too long. Sometimes your partner doesn't know say what he or she is doing, you know. So what you have to do is say breaking the silence, you know. You get an appropriate time. You sit the person down. Time our mood because breaking your silence. Our time our partner any mood to be a bit nice discussion. Financial partner if you banana the both for that na open so break you silent. Be now cast would do why you be oh yeah wumpe no. Now that particular moment no break is silent na no. It is not going to end well. So sometimes you maybe I was so another me kunu dey be na me partner dey be I was na dey na you know what form one me no ewo mood and I say me no environment na ewo mu no eye good kama now you find a way about me address it problem issue na na ninja ho what is that etimi to na asom otimi dadwen ho ade be chia na be a day or two no ono a check na ohwe nyema bia na ohwe a otimi so no ade anipa kan ye ebia na they were breaking the silence otimi say na de ade we wa kan say manya we kun say sometimes when you keep your silence certain time na one break it sometimes in partners and be how we are silent ya do baby a etimi mani bohu because you are trying to know your partner dear hand but on kasa amajo abaso
I'm so ye bibi nti de ye nkosa am so ba obekasa me at
nti no edu baby na you break the silence mani won say baby what do na de what do limit be a you can't take it anymore. So you try to let the person know say be saying say
yeah okay would have finish it
say or no na so ade we baby no dia ye do be ya chia not the person is ready to resolve the issue there or best as obeden or best setting near my ye na obi yemfa edon famra no yenko adwuma mu because say you can all sort of life fane say adwuma mu na oye adwuma ono boss penyi wa adwuma mu na obi make us boss on harass wa adwuma mu because adwuma so you depend on it adwuma na amount me survival of family mu o dey sponsor obi bia wa bushia mu na boss how ebia o pel ana so intimidate wo nyama binom ho na wo sure so beka you try to keep silent say the beya odwuma no emmo Obi, this kind of silence, how do you break it? I'm a
Okay,
guy.
Okay.
I'm aware.
Okay, family. I'm so sorry. I got a call that came in. My apologies. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Now, Obi, the whole thing here is still, sir, to say, I don't know, I mean you're famous now. When I was married, I will use myself as an example. The few close friends that I have, like I had two best friends. But all this while, before Kramewa, all that I tell them, I think marriage couples should keep their business to themselves. In terms of my car, during my marriage, everything that was worrying me, I kept it to myself. I tried hard. Until when and Mambosukra step and apart from that, me and Kasam said, Bibi Hami, hardly do I talk about it. The only time I talk about it, if I've overcome, that's the only time I talk. That's the only time I feel like speaking out. Until you be okuta that kind of Vim said, this thing is worrying me, and I want to come out and talk because I fall into those categories. I will not talk until I find out that I'm okay, and this one it's over. So this time around, it can come out. The same thing happened to my marriage. When it was sour and completely gone. And Sana. So my two friends were, you looked happy. You never saw no trouble. You didn't say anything about it. Most of the things I spoke about were like, are you sure? It's like, they don't even seem to believe me anymore. So what I said, because I wasn't saying anything. I wasn't telling them, I didn't show any sign that, okay, this thing wasn't working for me or whatsoever. My other friend, for some reason, because at a point in time, I was saying, I come to you, I confide in you, and you say a thing or two, and you wouldn't say a thing or two to me. It is so at a point, I have to end up apologizing to him, to her, because all that I have, the American said, so but now back how the extra mea. So me started coming there. Where are you gonna go? You see it to be so okay. You also have issues, so I won't come again. I'm saying no near that things na me kind of data. It's not that easy on anybody to just get up and be talking about their marriage. I don't think so, unless those that have the courage. Oh, let me just say it anyway. And I find this girl to be in that situation. Say, was how say, officer, I'm also famous. And I said, yeah, well, Mama said, you're a bit outspoken. Into me, I think it's the beginning. She was also thinking, say, Mr. Tika has to say what we are thinking about what others will say. But in my position, it's got nothing to do with what people will say, because I really don't think about what people say that much about me. But I'm just that part that I feel like when the going becomes tough, I just have to get going until maybe I have settled out my issues. Ethiopian said the but then the time has also come, say, Obiani counseling nowadays. We have got opportunity to be talking throughout the media where people can listen. So what I say. I think that because of that, now people are understanding it to come out a little bit, which is also good. But young Ghana for say, and yes, I didn't know be a cocasa. So we have to understand them to a point. And that is because before then, all those liberties were not there before. And people will not accept it overnight.
Okay.
So people will not just get up and say, it's okay, go and be talking about your marriage and it's accepted. A lot of people will not understand it at this point, because they bring out me share some crossing be or they still want people to accept it, say normal. Say you cry if you say normal. Me sure say they bring out say there is emotional abuse. They don't even understand it yet. So that is the thing, Hobby. And people will not get it. Okay. And we are not there yet. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah, I'm saying the topic Nankasa is when do we choose to be silent? So I guess it your woman.
So you see, it depends. When everything is sweet, nobody talk. When everything is perfect, nobody want to say anything. And we don't talk about perfection. We are also those people. Say, Bibi and they are not saying and beautiful. Oh, because be saying no, fish or no kind of kuta ware papa get away and no. We don't want to hear people progress. All we want is the bad side. So I don't think there's actually a specific time for people to start talking.
One thing I me knew about funny say either say our area now say any other you say that na me catch if you na me can say in the situation na nkasa no when do we choose to be silent, and it's whereby where's our bad will be hurtful to another person. That's what you say. Because uba be one no and also na me di kan kasa our area mu no, there's a lot of things in the life there's a lot of things na ko yam fa ne say woni ukunu na wo ho uba be ware na wa ware then where's our ka bia no un consider say asem ya me ka kire me kunu ana asem yiri ebe ha no. At that moment, and I think it's when you choose to be okay, put mute. Probably ever quite be so. If you have me say in your friend is saying in work environment, what I say, and you are being harassed by a boss and all that stuff. Knowing so very well, so if you are one way, yeah, so one way now could be one. How can you depend on it? But what do you do? Also, emotionally, this is a dicey situation here. Because who could be one you were dear friend, man, life you that bomb. But you have been also your friend is saying, yeah, harazo. Yeah, dear, and most especially when it comes to say the topmost position now, the panel one yes, it makes it so hard to cope with a word human. So it's either say ube break you silence number free walk or you come you close ube can one matum na why word juma akoso. When it comes to say it becomes anything and I make physically. When it comes to physical part of it, you don't have any other choice. I'm not saying it's because this is a dicey situation. This is due or not. Because at the end, life depends on it. A human when ya enkoye enye yema. Because then the support of life. Meanwhile, this is what is going on with human. When it comes to sending panel status or board, yeah, then you don't have a choice. When it comes to say we hear it and I say we can abuse you physically or board, yeah, you don't have a choice. If you understand, I'm a air king. So what you say? A do baby now decided say or be corner, then I'm decided to talk about it. Other than that, you know, and Caribbean Castellano, I'm a Caribbean uti musa because no say a beer you don't want to leave. But you said make I
said when it was over. It's not because I wanted to talk when it was completely over before I started talking.
Okay, so
when I
it was who decided so be making it over because at that moment you won't be right?
Yeah. But no. But that was when I was completely done. TSO just a major no more. I'm through. It's not because I feel like, oh, this is the time I want to walk out. So no, I settled it off before I started talking about it. So I'm may patch it.
No,
yes, I feel like I'm walking out. So right this time around, I want to talk. No, that wasn't what I meant. I meant that I waited until it was all over before I started talking. So that was the reason why my friends could not even take it that, oh, why were you so quiet and why wouldn't you say anything and like that? Do you understand what I mean?
No,
so it got nothing to do. Yeah.
Me person be a question during your marriage now before you left na onion free I can say psychologically no now you were going through certain things that you never like it but you try to keep it to yourself.
Exactly, because all that
without saying it to anybody.
Married people should keep their marriage things to themselves. Why do they want people to know their business?
No.
Because I'm a type that says that I do not find myself talking about it. And then there was one funny thing I said, if people live together for 5 years, I think that 5 years is enough for them to accept their differences and stay. So after 5 years, why should they be having problems? So they are the things we say when we are not married, and there are different things when we stay after. Different things we say after we are married. So we tell them.
Now that was silent, and I'm a person beside him was say. During those days, now I keep silent on certain things. I also ma obia and no. I'll keep it to yourself. Me person will say negative effect when a impact when a psychologically. And
And then
now
when I started talking, my friend, that one of these was, and I made example said, when I started talking, my friends couldn't believe me. I was really, it was this and that, and you wouldn't be, are you sure? So you see, that is one of the facts. Those are some of the facts.
who say keeping silent certain things, you know. Yeah. So be keep silent when them mean say the be ya won't travel limit na one when you was semen kon
It cannot, because won't limit or anything. But in a medical, anything I make my example say.
Would me about make us true.
Yeah.
Now, me pesa ye psychological effect na woman say. The more na asset say they be a woman me be one okuna wu. And now baby wu ni ase mensu. Ebi anka wo sun ye ma de ne firuma because
maybe it would have been better.
Eboma ye ya ne firuma wo ye free.
100% that is what it is, but not everybody. Yeah, it's true.
You keep it na yes mensu na waka wa wo say ade bi ewura wa
yes.
See wo and I'm trying to say keeping silent na but one kasa inward you feel certain pains you have to say niema nko yi emma
that's how you feel.
But physically no will protect yourself from the society na won ton won sem no but inwardly no niema nko yi ma.
No, that is what I want. And yet necessarily say you didn't person will beton, but just as anything I'm going to do myself for example say, yeah, well, things can happen to them, they don't want to talk about it. And I find myself to be one of those. And you'll be an BB or person or Becca, and they won't so they will just talk and find their healings. Yeah, that is what it is.
Yeah.
If people just decided to keep it to themselves, that is reason best known to them. And I find myself in those areas. But the example I'm giving here is at a point in time when I started speaking, my friends couldn't even believe me because they did not understand how close I am with them that I didn't even say it and that. They were like, are you sure? They would have to even doubt me to the point where I have to even be telling some of them, sending some of them my emails just to prove that, yeah, it was true. At the point in time, I was, you know what, Hannah, believe what you have to believe because I don't. Because it was...
You weren't happy within you.
I'm not happy, but just as I say, you want to to say me, and you will be no person who can go about him will be at it. Wanted the American,
but me person make a point to go say. And yes, I will can about him, and as I won't go. Me person say personally, no. Once I send be how on our own person become obiate because that is how you are kind of sign our life. You don't like telling your problems to other people, but within you know you feel pains be womu. Obi a disappointed person be cancel be disappointed, but within you know who feel pains.
Okay. Theo, for example, my child, I belong to my example. For example, for
one thing I'm going to say, if you are everybody, Obia on the threshold. What am I saying? Obia or every you don't say nipa ye different. You to me absorb pain and cushion it. Obi or how into me. Oh,
exactly. And I said there was a group in my church. We were sitting talking about. We are not even talking about marriage, but we were just discussing about one of those books. My church, you find ladies at my age group. You picking up Obiatron Yami some book now or the Bible until we discuss, analyze the book, blah blah blah, and base it on the Bible, the Word of God. Those women group like that. Intimate about kohona. Dakro, you started saying kasani at their day, and omobusu kasa, and then one way or the obedient in marriage, be shame, and obusu kasa, or kasa. Like I said, I don't know what came over me, so I started talking, and I didn't know how I sounded. But ansana many baba me who's not just a me and Sababa Juna Mechi the Omon Santo Meso. And that scenario kind of led me cried out. Because that was about a year ago. Just I said, let you remember 1 year ago. That was the time I felt like, okay, now let it go. And I think that was the moment I even cried over all those situations. So I also let out. I was able to give out my tears and all, and then we finally prayed over it. There is when you are like my type, a time will come you will give out. And then we also have other people who just want to just buckle up and do their business, which is also there. But at the same time, yakoya ankrophobia. Yeah, especially young Ghana for yakoya ankrophobia. Who can was some no see any breast some crow because so see frioko and then the ember that way yatia bromani panyan. We have ways that people take issues from you. So when you break one some no be because so shred it off so badly. And if you find myself or if you find yourself to be my type, it's not everything you really want to share, no matter how closer you are with people. But then again, a time will give itself for you to find yourself in that situation and let out. So if I buckle up the pain and all that, to say there will be when the time came out for me to let out, I let it out.
And when ama ewiase na nkasa no sa netie obi any brisem enye obi
yes.
You might think yes, you might get emotional feelings, you might get and you might be pain you near day. Trust me, sir. Who cares?
Thank you. Who cares? Thank you. Thank you. There was once, yes, sister, Baku social media, and so no, okay, and I think I wrote, "Who cares?" And I got a whole lot of comment back. Exactly.
And say, there are people, yes, you trust. You find yourself still pastor, pa. You find yourself trust or pastor, pa. Say, oh, that's the same way there. As I'm a catch me pastor, and that's what be a very forbidden. But for all you know, no, it be about catch any pakrono, but the person doesn't even care. What would you do? And yet, ubia who force a Virginia di pa ye pan bit me any solution to your problem. About catch in every time, yeah.
Exactly the point. That's what it is.
He said,
My question on Monyante point na me pese Mrs. Shubanu.
And I say,
Eto de bia obia wa how I was resolving the issue. You can choose to keep it to yourself. You can choose to vent it out. You can choose to tell your pastor. Ebia wa ko pastor or ye na ma good advice. Now wa select say the okan ye mefa na memfa ebe wa na emwa me. Obi susu ho a o ma advice bia ni nyina nkonkosi. Now, the empesa ye hunu wa ha ne say keeping silent over certain things. So once I so obi o ha otimi absorb pain. Mete wase wo. Na mpesa ye hu ne say ye can keeping silent, breaking the silence. And mpesa ye hu emotionally na ade a efri mu ba. When you are keeping it na keeping silent na ye, but wo nipa na nipa bi na kasa wo keep absorb sa na ma na sa wo timi keep pains no. You can't tell me say absorbing it into wouldn't any bad effect in it emotionally no entimi nku onema bi because pains bia no first be Philippines bia no na psychologically nema bi ko ewo adwene mu e bona
I told you what that is not the effect now
unkomo nsisi so ye mi mo bi o ha o wa wem na se nema nko ye ma na be ko be se na tire ka o share wadana ani o keep silent but abon dam ona ma no kasa obi sande na ko on kasa obe o kasa o ye wa minute but adwen mu no adwen nyema nkomu ye wa adwen ni mu and I'm say society no enye ready to let the person to vent out and I say bia obi nye ready say obe to be there for the person, to listen to the person. At least man encouragement obi o ha enye say bia ko jawa we and I mean obi o ha wo hug ne kakra no bi no nya just hug keke ama na kuma to ne yam obi ho onya just smile the big keke ana onya joke keke bi ama na ne parent ko no wa to agu ye wa no ma se keke ko betima na to ne paper na agu obi akwanche bebe ko read books e bia tie music e bia wadwe na wood na beat sa akwa e bia change routine bi fa ho rade bi mu se wahu e bia mepam ade bia ade na wo pam no stress you out ntini na no what keep you silent on it because say your children what keep you silent who jaya se wahu but
enye tie enye boapayo say obi aka say o make people silent but me say we all have ways of handling issues.
no when you say mass what diverting no cry. And then so be a boapa so be a boapa you mean pass emotionally na ade a free mu ba mera wo keep on silent that nka na wo ti wo mu wan kasam how do you feel when you are keeping silent on certain things obi you be say obi question what say
if you I am
now boss harass you now
but then again no if you
I'm at the boss. You can.
Once didn't make us emotionally idea silent in the free mubano. Bra wa kipu e wo ho awie na eye no. Side effect here how one and person ka ho asem so ka ho. Say be ye be hu how I be say handle certain things. Also we keep on the silent. Say side effect ne ba how be say resolve no. So we hu. Bi ne say be say so person wo adwuma. Adwuma no depend e wo adwuma no so. Now boss harass you. What I say would you adwuma na? Wa no be abo. But keeping it to yourself no. What keep you silent say be obetima save adwuma. But emotionally no, won't feel better. Won't any jebia. That is the side effect on it. But won't
okay, mommy try the side effects about saying you we are working. So be affected with the if you can't handle it, what would you do? It's either you quit and I said, yeah, well, you man on your man in so. And now, until we have other third parties that are also watching you. And you're different from your marital issue. Your co-workers don't live with you in your house. When it comes to marital issues, you live together with you and your partner. If there are children involved, and it's between you and your children, it got nothing compared with work. Because work and say, Obi harasu denenia, can your actions will tell them there will be a third party out there. But medical catch us me a typer. I hold things to myself until I feel like I've done it and people have to hear. So I am like that way before I got married. So are you getting my point? And then I'm only making myself an example.
No,
so now
others, you person you be all angles. Nti engina purposely on marriage in so.
Okay.
And I'm for keeping silent on certain things. We no down for be akonkopa. And I down for be ya wa ade bi na wunti menka. Na ade anyhow but one person will be ton 170. You have to keep silent on that particular issue. If you say you don't know down for no montemwatia, o say anya hwe. You want to keep silent on that issue. Obi say oh anger na me free ba no. Enti we be pese ya ka all aspect. Now we enko all aspect. Nti adwuma mu dia so ka ho bi. And I'm from abusham ka to silent be silent wo bia no. We want to look in it how I be see cooperative, how I be me occupy how we can break silence. Time ben e be choose to be silent. Time ben was say break silent. Say adwuma say wa we say na fufu.
Okay. Meba mu kakra whereby I understand baby a o kan. On say and na me bet me aka me kasa me kase. E bia tem bia me kan ya na o me kasa ma ya na me pese me generalize it because sometimes e bia ya na nye sa na nipa bi so tie. What ma senti wo bo ha no abo ha. Now ye wo nipa bi wo ho no mo keep silence a draw on anim. Because what did me chona say? Ipa bi wo ho no wo kọ abuse mu or kọ any sort of problem bia wo hwe nanim din anu wan say asomasi we bibi ha no you will be wo ho no mo a on show even the slightest sign. This is whereby I understand abia amajo nso so e wo baby because on show the slightest sign ma who say this is the dia nipa e kotru na yem for mo a sign no e show ma who say nipa no there's something going on. And you know, a beer and can nipa be na no kan ya and could be relief will be ewo baby. If there is a lot of side effects whereby you beer untimi hold a certain number to yourself and your man is so Emma is show physical body, no. There's a lot of side effects to women. Because said the OC kind one nama who say one now you tend to deteriorate in your physical body is when you are such a person as a son what ya or physical being also do so. It doesn't matter saying we see TBR.
And that is when you have kept it for so long on any
for so long.
That is human beings.
That is what I'm saying. When the problems start to come up, the person starts reacting to that problem, no? Whereby I will be who's a nipa no problem, no? And you clear. Obi or you perfect actor. What did they mention us? Obi or you perfect, Obi or the problem, no? Trust me, will hold the problem, no? For as long as they can. You never know. Unless I say what nipa ni fee, unless I say what nipa na unless there are two sides of the coin here that we are talking about. In order for you, such a person, I want to mean hold it that then I will say you have to find somebody to confide in that person. Such a person.
Me person bisa question. Still I won't a point now make and say the more can be but me person you make a point to go. Whereby I say we have two people obi on the reaction issue. Obi show a perfect actor. Obetimi a consume and draw. And your honor and person you draw no has say. Honor Matia so. Me person me yet maybe as well say. When you keep certain things within you for long time, psychologically, no, it will effect and I say any effect. That is where I want us to talk about. Say it doesn't matter, but me pretend this saying I'm going to say there is everything okay, but within you, no, it is not okay.
If the thing is, what you are not getting, you see, you keep saying it's pretend. It's not pretend. People that made up their mind, I'm going to ignore this and will not bother, even though the thing is happening them. They are not pretending, no. They are just who they are, just as me.
I don't pretend now. What make us and sin or cry?
I'm telling you something. Me, I can ignore. So because of that attitude alone, I overlook things. And I know there's thousands of people out there just like me. Some people that can take bullshit, they don't care. They overlook. They are not pretending. So they will leave. You will die. You will keep hurting them and die. They will still leave. I'm telling you, it got nothing to do with pretend.
And how then why must you leave?
It's not a matter of no.
You never leave.
No, if you
are when it happens in the marriage, you will never leave. That is why I said
it's not how did I leave? It's because the marriage ended. That doesn't mean why I leave. I can tell you I didn't leave, but it ended because the marriage takes two people. I made myself as an example. That doesn't, and I didn't say I don't care, but I'm telling you, sir, we have people that ignore things. So no matter, even though if you take things from work or family or whatsoever, every issue comes differently. And people that want to buckle up, they all kind of have a reason why they want to buckle up differently. So no matter the side effects of whatsoever, somebody will show for you to know this is my problem. Take broken heart, for example. Or be better me and your broken heart within 2 days. Or more be who say when you're broken heart. Or being so because now we broken heart. Now excuse me, let me pass. So you see, that is elephant everybody and how we handle things and life issues. It got nothing to do with people are pretending. But the side
pretending, what you say?
You make but the side effect, if it's a side effect, not you. If it's a side effect you want, everybody's side effect is also different. Some people can get mentally damaged. Some people will say whatever and go. Maybe later it might harm them or it might not harm them. It's differently. So no matter which situation you see, or no matter with the family, or with the workplace, or with the relationship, or with the friendship, or with the marriage, issues are issues, and everybody have its ways of handling it, and its effects that comes with the people. Everybody's issue is different.
Okay.
And then I'm person with you.
Kakra me de afia kakra me de besan aka ho ne se obi air course situation bu mu na se bi wo hwe na wo anwu no ameka ncha wo right yeah ebetimi aba se me course situation bi but the name say affect me no I really don't care about the situation in any much so what you say and I'll keep my silence in it until of course say started say me then I'll voice it out. And then another time, I say, "Yam fano on an individual basis." Oh, there are some things to be or higher, and sometimes a general, and only to me and young a general, but to be honor people as it is a draw, it is a nipa, it is a would take a draw. Ubi be take a draw away, ubi be take chloroquine, and yan a bill, ubi take chloroquine, who be kawama, one way crowd over bottom.
That's what it is.
Things happens to people, but we react to it in a different form, in a different way. The let me handle no. If you be mean to me handles no.
That's what it is.
So what I said, the me met me your boo baby say your friend is saying Mamenka one a be a proverb being fancho and I say Mamenka be. Busa won't say Adentina Sebo any jata. Omumi anu ye very, very, very dangerous and scary than a boy a friend a wolf. One will say the wolf. One say the wolf akwa share cage mu say the ne kosa kisa akoye acrobatics amankrofo ahweda. Enye bi da.
Can never be.
Tia. But jata ye de omo yes ade and ye temi omo hade. Why na what me atemi wolf da? It depends on the soul and the nature and how clever wolves see here. That's
what it is. You all see things different.
Everybody
handle things differently.
Yeah, what the way I see saw and your mom, Ubia would the way now worry mu or per se den the man. Then I make us as and the camel there no or status will come no. Things started show up. But I decided say let me keep quiet, let me take this answer. My many answer until of course I say our any started say Ejija, then no force I was a me banana be talking about it because our yen anchor sacran and manko uncle Sifi. Probably by now, some called us to Timu and Comeka. One can read.
Exactly.
Obi, Sandy Camel, they ain't mean say she wasn't feeling any pains. It's me not also because the reason why I was saying that and say during the marriage in Nina or starting in Nina, she reacted to so many things here. I just say what was going on, not a ham.
Time and not Yawa
or Tower Muno. One society in some man canning was not in the Kunta be a show pa, a be creative show. One person may have them society was all is well. Almost no pretend a lot of things I don't pretend, but we didn't know a lot of things that wasn't going on well. But when I'm more TV, no matter some more help bonus.
If you are maybe. Now you think it's everybody else.
That is what was going on. So one home video ever since I present Game Warrior, my warrior never ever went secret. Okay, 24/7. Just to prove to people say.
Example. Take Cora, take the girl, take the dancer, the actress and the dancer Cora. Any Nikunu issue if any example. The two of them before Cra and Sana marriage situation Beba Bonte among Crawford who says things were not really going on well with them. What were they doing? They were coming out opening to the public for people to think so. Oh, everything is perfect, everything is good. It was when it went sour before. And so we are sorry to fool our followers because things were not as you people seems to be. There is time for everything. It comes to that point.
That is why I'm saying when it happens in that way, that means emotionally, they were going through certain things emotionally. Exactly. Now they weren't allowing people to know. So this is what was that's sad. The fact someone showed us that there is something going on, no mutimi act up public scene man nipa won say
Mhm.
everything is all right no emotionally na enyema nko ye mfa ma o emotionally till say ebe ye full up o ba abon ka say yentimi biem what I which means na enyema how but they have to act for people to believe and na dangerous no so one say one seek to problem no one resolve it now go so up ebu ho na wontimi biem o be explode no na ama de na akọ too complicated ama makra no say no nkwana ntete na man a lot of effect ya ebeba so
No.
they don't know.
No. Listen, they are public people. Utie. By public eye. With their marital issues and stuff for people to watch them and have fun. And they were making money out of it. So if it's going sour and they think maybe we can work on it and we are not talking about it theater, that was also a reason best known to them until they couldn't keep it anymore. So it's then again, that brings me back for you to know, say, when things happen, it takes time for you to even say, this is why I want to talk about it, or I do not want to talk about it. So there is a reason for everything. And
reason reason beyond psychologically. Our reason psychologically. Obi before so beba bonta say na majawa we no untina no asem da one day pe osimajawa obi san kwase me nka de ntia but na psychologically nyema koso wa we no mu a ahye no so acha wa meni ache ntu ye den na negatively no nyema bia nkoyi wo ho amfa ma no.
Of course, there's negative everywhere. I'm not denying that. Of course, it's negative.
When we talk about emotions and psychological, me for me, no, yeah, I don't want to judge anybody. Said nipa way equal emotional stress or anything until some who science. So man who science it will be hard for me to judge yourself. Yeah. You are going through emotional stress.
So be jawari o kasa na majawari a obekasa wintimi judge for the emotional side.
Be only panis wa jawari. How am I going to judge say emotionally?
That means something went wrong. Agreement is starting free by you think are
you trying to tell me say was going through psychological effect into
I give a happy beyond a bar and I been a catcher.
Oh, say you. Say, me wa
na o you know faje o didn't know she o you know faje BBM taking decision different. Also take a different. I don't know how maka muntime resolve it. How but what you put yourself and you been a catcher idea we are ye enye.
Go through it. There is a difference between some emotional stress and he said there is a difference through some adiano majameko.
No, when to that nothing happened.
Hey,
nothing happened to Mjawari, Obi. Person Majawari with no reason.
If you are my main cousin, US ha. Abrafuni be sorry to me catch or say, Mimpe will be a majameko. One go emotional stress when you on stress.
No, our only reason beyond Mojawari.
Yes, Mahubi.
Yes.
Or say Mimpe will be or say, I'm going to a different person.
Don't sign, don't find a free buy.
And that is not considered a psychological effect, my sister.
No, don't find a free buy. And no emotionally go room na asa. Unya don't the man now don't answer.
So when you walk out, it's emotional effect. No, it's not like that, Efia.
Any emotional effect. Or no walking out. There a emotional effect, you know. And I make us say there are signs a draw when you panic. Yes, stress. Sometimes maybe a nipa need the grants on a sort. Or namwa then you know that the person is going through emotional stress or maybe abuse in money basa. Other than that, no, with that, you can them only make and only say nipa ni jaya. Me no be ya adwene na nipa chronic psychological no wa endure or go emotional stress that sa ama wa yeden afi de aburo so na explode. Me no be ya adwene. But whereby obi say me don't know wo mu no asa on go through any psychological ibia what's asa into a person will move on to the life. So what you say? No, I know.
And I'm about to say, and any point but at least you nipa bring or what they'll go through it. You have to accept that.
And then make can say individual basis.
Hey, and so be go through obebe jawa, and also in the all go through. And I said, be a caution to Macassa Wajai. Obin to say, who are and I say, who couldn't and none seals and all.
Of course, there is issues.
Psychologically, wouldn't affect you.
No, it's true there will be issues, but that doesn't mean saying none and they in psychological effects because some of them you example. So I overlook, I ignore. So if you overlook things and ignore, that doesn't mean you have.
When you overlook and you ignore that's not a free. That's something went wrong. That's why you just married.
I know interest attention. No, psychological effects. No,
a lot of things. Yeah, they say me and Job. I'm
there is no psychological effect. There is pain because there is a part you were not happy. There is a part you didn't like. There is a part that doesn't mean psychological effect. So does that make it effect? We have things that will affect.
When you're happy, there is an effect. There is a negative effect.
If you listen. There is things that you can talk about and see.
The next day, there is something behind it.
We are meant to believe. No, people are meant to believe that. So, don't let the sun set on your anger. So, if you have that spirit in you, you got nothing called psychological effect. Go and check it in the book. And check out people that things can affect and people that things cannot affect. So accept it. It got nothing to do. Things happen to people. Some people will not get infected. We have people that have had an accident and when they check that their temperatures, they are still as they are. Are you telling me that is why they didn't have psychological effect? Everybody is different, my sister. So believe it. It got nothing to do with whether you be infected emotionally or whatever. Some people overlook things and go. And that's what it is.
But the moment we're free, the moment I day we there is a reason behind it.
God, we are not saying there is no reason. So to you, the reason is the psychological effect. Is that not? Is that the part you want to make?
Psychological effect. Yes,
then why are you basing on psychological effect? Psychological effect. I'm not getting your point.
Me say the American say. And yes, psychological effect national American part they say. When something happens in a relationship, and then I say we don't mean per se call our real so we are focusing our mind on only marriage. Now, topic is not based on only marriage here. Into the other questions, we are trying to ignore them. Say that we are then a bit too long. Just all aspects. All aspects.
Okay, so what is the next aspect? What as even though person you can't anytime I'm back be and more design the marriage na your example into which are the aspects are with the abemcc nine
one intimacy so when you have a one to question and you never understand us. Yes, starting introduction yeah this then did the bum you did the bum for a purpose. And I church you say silent. Who and say silent, breaking silence. It's a breaking silence there. And your marriage, you won't be breaking silence. And I beg you put silent. And now for form, you can keep silent on certain things. How, but I was so before someone can have dignity, I was so keeping silent on it. I wish you be better me so we want to look all aspects.
And then I answer you by when it comes to a busia. The issues that might rise up are a way different and how everything goes and how it affects. So all those effects happens differently.
Okay,
so
Yensha and what could be the possible thing I am funny say and I'm for my beba. You keep your silence on it, and also be break your silence. Possible unit saying.
I will give you one of the possible answers. Hey, Bia, you are 3 friends. Who said the 2 of them are dating one man, or one of them is dating one of them's man, and you as a third party doesn't know how to confront the other or don't know which one to say. Does that make sense?
No, you have to keep your silence.
And I make her say, in this case, you have to come back and search yourself. How do I say it to this person that it will not bring a problem? How do I confront this person and say, hey, maybe I saw our friend with this so-and-so's husband, or how do you do it? Do you get it? So that kind of puts you in the middle, and you have to rethink of how to solve those. So to me, in my opinion, it's up to you to keep it to yourself, or you want to blow it to your friend. That is a choice, and that is decision based on you. I'm only making that as an example, though.
Okay, if you have a different example.
And I'm for an yes, I will be a could boy and go. Minimum phobia up till now. Almost fan unfortunately, up till now, beyond minka the main reason tia or muntemati. Obia son casa.
So you see, reason
for over 30 years in here.
Well, very ugly, but
they were very close like me about. They were very close like sisters. Since that thing happened, no. After now, I keep silent, but there is a problem.
They don't want to talk about.
Yeah, they want to talk about it.
A time will come, they will blow up one way or the other.
And no money cry, yeah, minute.
Wow.
So can we say, or keep silent? Nah, saying
well, they didn't want anybody to
know. But a dangerous.
Reason best no to them.
Reason best no to and say a man bo elmano affect your man so. Didn't affect them to say Nkolano so mathematics. When it happens like that, now our big generational idea akaho. What is akaho? And to say obi kwa watching one day a difficult so be one young because the idea that I say can be a daho. Bia mami no obi aye ba akwa dem na ye ne ya. What I say about on person I don't know on person obe bie so obi ate and obi ehu e na what keep or the beko wo. O mani pa sun hu na bia makọ ho achopa na bitisa. But on so se minni pa minni nkasa bia mu da kopin se mewu. Wa preventing the ma officer nipa no ho. E very dangerous. Sa silent sa no but see, I'm trying the side effect into Shona. Ye. Because I send one not to put silent one many per be a man come from Fido. Not to put silent ya. Obi insurance a too a hardy.
I never come. I can say, me decided some men won't casa be more. I will treat you as a stranger. What you must say? Me decided to make me silence while Abraham non casa be more. I'll rather treat you as a stranger.
Exactly.
Yeah. And whether say me ma if you what will come to them because we be any one more or you're familiar with them or more or because my memory. It's only when I will be more or because okay, my memoir.
That's what it is.
Oh, it is a me. Me ne we are down for. Na say you down for no atia. Na me fall say, ade a wo dey me keep it to myself. Ninka sa hu bi mu a. I'll keep it to myself. I am never going to treat you as obi kra na me ni mo pain. Because if you are the kra na. So say
that's very dangerous.
How is it dangerous? Because
no so one fan cheni pa no.
Of course, then nipa kra so fan che no. Nipa me no a wo kan. Omo nyina so mo nka asem no obia act in the family free ni young. So I don't think he said there is any danger bia or baby for both of them. How
we are sure?
Yes, possibly any danger be a bit me other. Because me treat you to say they are stranger. That's what I'm saying. What you say? Me treat you to say they are stranger. Perhaps a cramp will be cram me too free. baby a wote akwatena baby a unhu machiri kwan bi. So where is it going to be dangerous for me?
But so wouldn't send first can say we are around it, me can one about vicinity.
Oh, of course. Send make us
At least, yeah, a bit me by miracle, and you bet me some more power be simochi, and I was phobia power be simochi.
The and no some massive one a bar. They can choose to talk. Bet me choose to talk to them each other. And then no yet at that time, no, I probably I don't exist. So what you say? It's only when a beer wunimu se ubenyam one free nipa ho dachi bi. Or even cry if you don't know grandpa na. And no cry no. If you say me na why aka. Na se waba ama me ne amayaka. Na se me ko baby. Na wo waba abeto me. You can choose to say that's all be help me and that's all be chomako. It's up to you. What did they make you when I say? It's only up to you. Mean to me at that moment, you know. It will be like a stranger. Miss me drew on no more. Some me baby man no cast a minimum. Na maybe help. Na me do show be na me chomko then I'll be.
Because others will do the same thing too.
And you're healthy, mom. But this is the situation whereby I'll make an example. No, also decide this on Moncasa. At least and Kabako Crampo said this is what happened. Near who said there is somewhere that we're gonna go, but this is the situation. We are so on.
It could be they all have a covenant that we are not talking about it, so we shut up. It could be there is a reason for everything.
So what I said now, my main way emra emichemu. In order for us to say when do we have to keep quiet, when do we have to say silence, and for we make them. If you are on say, if we are say aniama on say if we are say, and yen semu nyina na hu a also can.
Simple as that.
What am I say? And yen say on say, eh? Obi wo ho a asamo mfa ne ho. But absa no ba jaka. Onim hwe. See, a case a quite best when I'll be far in your daily life, to stay. As I said, we stay. Silencer. And someone if you are winning more shame. Someone am found who corner be didn't come bones and nipa corner kuri grain no abeginamu no can be. Facebook I away, ama, okay, Facebook debia. Ubi or some no nimbibia. And so no beso come there see so no I no ho kama utimi say ase waka
no probia susunim so
exactly. So these are some of the stuffs that make us say you got to choose to be say stay silent. If you see a musa opinion was somewhere you have to stay silent. I don't know how much I want me ya one. So what you say asemna bano
of course for example, make us say I ignore things. I said, and so I'll just ignore and pass by. And it doesn't it and no interest I change and mommy fed the same pass by. I just decided to shut the fuck off. You see? And I keep saying that we have people like me. I am just like that. And I don't care, and I have no excuse, and I'm not begging for it or whatsoever. I don't care. That's what it is. But when the time came for me to let it out, I don't know what happened. It all came out. And I told you that too. So there is time for everything. There's a point whereby you feel like, oh, finally, I think I have to let out. And as I'm saying, when I was letting out, that was over a year or two before I was letting out. So when I told them, oh, at least today, I cried over it, but this was like a year. The women like, oh yeah, really? We haven't seen him at the church for quite a while. So you see, it got nothing to do with no fight. Does that mean I wasn't good? I was good. Like I said, my friends, let me say, my two friends, they still can't believe they still can't believe it, because it's not like when I go to there I pretend I'm still me. I will laugh and do whatever I will joke. I can be jovial if I want to. I can joke and pass away. So that is how people are. But then again, when it comes to marital issues, it's just as it is. Some people may want to do whatsoever, and some people want to choose. And me, before I would get married, my music was people should keep their marital words to themselves.
Diama maybe say say
Uh-huh.
you time I will keep marital issue to yourself, and did it work for you?
Well, I think that I would say because I wasn't talking about what was happening in internet, I was not able to tell exactly everything that happened to me. You get it? Because I wasn't talking about it. So when I decided to talk, and like I said, it was way over before I started talking about it. So exactly maybe today, whatever it is that happened, maybe times will pass before I say, oh, do you know that actually happened to me? So that will be the things I would say. And because of that, when people are talking about their issue, I feel, okay, at least he's talking about it. So I pray some people will have a listening ear, because I have this thing in me. So who cares anyway? Who cares? I have that in me. Who cares about your issues? Obia, oh, nama bonti kobia when the issue or then I'm into obin bambe now with their home and wasting time. So that is why they want to take consent with you. And then social media bar. Yeah, mutitu mukase biya some years back there was nothing like that. Do you get it?
Okay.
So does that mean people did not survive? Since when did we as Black people, African people, even started remembering that there is emotional effect and whatsoever, and people should come and talk about it? It was never there before. So people have no clue or no idea, but they live and they survive. I'm not saying it's good though, but that is what it was.
I mean, Sena America say what might be good for the gender or senior canon. What is good for the geese is not good for the gender or whatever. However you can be say bibiano, we have the pros and cons. Yeah, what the yamano ne the yamano. You might think it's a idea because when you but the honor will be any an inspiration the free. If you have me the same say a time no a quanessa.
And that means silence, and yes, silence ni na healthy.
Or of course, I say and yen na
silent na binye until say wo do yes silent do baby na say wo break limit be a betimi wow so seek for help. And then I would advise you.
I was where the silence will help you and where it won't.
And I make say one so do baby silent because be silent, baby yes silent ya the do na me na and I'm go to me this kind a wo bi kunu no obi silent bit me ya na abant say kunu pa kura feel come on to because on can problem no or the best son ho a me na boss na adwen foforo abantim boni bi abantim se kun no koye na duro fa no come alarm so koye say silently no se wo hu enti se wo ya na say wo problem bim na fa say wa keep silent wo so na afebo say adwene hiti na ma won feel comfortable na another negative solution na seek for help because one way the bit ma committee crime be any say o committee and na ma bebre na bi ma akọ wi o e friend say akọ wi o prison no friend say dia be na bo say me nim dia ba me mu and am dey sa ade no to kwa kaka na me no kwa na o kan say me kire me na eye me ya se wo hu eye me ya no wan kan tire sin pa so mo ka che be ye me ya but o se me ye ni bi atika e na wa ya na de na mi na wa pay right time abeden obi ni bi atene kama no ho ato ba ye wie ye no e na ko prison say ade bi wona bon say ka say seek for vengeance because until we be keep ni secret we be keep silent na wo fa wo ho adwen se wo hu until say wo du be no fi say limit na wo du silent ni be limit na wo du no anwe na push you ko be ni say wo du na de be ko boni mu seek for help per advice to be a bit me confine that person na pay for help na seeking for help and some are yet too late until sa obewie na why dey na ade bi show na fi say bi anya wo le mu a keep silent on it ye mfrɛ wo mu a me nko ho age say I invite wo mu bi obi wo ho ana no tro ama obi a wade agu nko keep silent e ben kana ware ne nka nipa na ware na ye dey asave so wo hu enti me hu ni nyina so de be ya emfa problem emfa ma obi aka me ne be ka ho ano no so
obi aka ka me two ayi bi na me de be ka ho ne say You have to keep silent when you think it's a words I will choose. So it's really, really going to be hurtful to the other person. What you say? Obi more on consider the young when it comes to say on any pakroni nya semana say or can someone say ni ade ne be ha nipa no say hano on fa ho. Try to keep silent on that. And now a biom so to be na say uni evidence e wo ho. Ade na wakwa akoto no wunim definitely well so uni evidence wo ho. Keep silent. Keep silence. Ne twa mu fakọ. Because one way ya obekwa akoka na wo do bi akoto amane mu anasa wo do wankasa hwan eden akoto amane mu if you don't have evidence. Asam no say unimu a menka bi. Keep silence. Keep you mute. So unim asam na mfiti ase a don't jump into the middle. Na men conclude. Ti asam na se yi. Bisamuni enchira wase yi. Otherwise, keep silent. Keep your silence. Baby ameka se obakwasia se okana no tumu a ye buni se oye nyansani eno na maka e wa ha ntiafia me da se ene o invite me e ma ye disciple e ba e
Obi Mr. Das, Minisachina, Bessin Shia, the same time. Abushan for a net program ready Bessini. Obasabo Modiana chef, a my minister, as time goes on, no, Mobabua ama program, no, Ejan Naso, and program show topic na the buy so a very good at a beboy and not yet to your home for them be and na me show bibia na me admo china e be share Sunday so no e cost duma dey so e de beba e wo BGHS so one subscriber to so a na wa subscribe e de ama FFF abeka OBGH abusion ko no na me adma o china e be sen share the same time mama ba